Guys, how are you all doing? It's your girl CC and I'm back again today with another interesting video. I trust you guys are doing great, having fun, enjoying life. Thank you so much for clicking to watch this video. Guys, I just want us to see this video right here and talk about it. This video is beginning to trend on TikTok. So this lady right here is asking why it is impossible for her to get a job. So she literally applied to so many companies and they turned her down. The recent one that happened to her, which she called the company or the store out in this video, she called them out asking why they turned her down, and she is generally asking the public to tell her what could be the reason or the reasons why she's not getting job. I'm gonna let this video roll so you guys can hear all the things she said. And of course, people staged her video, literally giving her the reason or the reasons why she's not getting job. Please check this video out.
So I wanted to come on here and talk about something that is really starting to annoy me. So I applied for a job at TJ Maxx a few weeks ago and they denied my application. They couldn't even call me. They just sent me some automated email. So I went in today and I was like, so what was the reason I didn't get hired? And she was like, oh, like, you just, like, don't have enough experience. There was candidates that had, like, more experience than you. And, I asked her if it was about my tattoos, obviously, because I know a lot of places don't like tattoos. She said that wasn't the reason. I don't feel like that's true, but whatever, I'll leave it at that. So I'm just wondering how, like, teenagers and young adults who haven't had a job before, how are they supposed to get employed if these places are only hiring people with experience? So younger people just can't get a job because they haven't worked enough. So, like, they'll deny a 16-year-old a job because they don't have enough work experience. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I do okay with money as is, so I didn't, like, need the job, but I would have liked it to have made some extra money so I could pay off my debt quicker. I want you guys to talk about in the comments what it's been like for you finding a job recently, like if it's been easy or if it's been difficult, and I want to know, like, what kind of experience you guys have, because I want to see if I'm the only person that's, like, experiencing this right now or not. And, I hate that my tattoos are such a defining factor for me getting a job or not. Like, just because I have tattoos doesn't mean I'm not gonna be a good worker. Like, I do not understand that at all. Because quite literally, some of the most smart, intelligent people I've ever met are people with tattoos and piercings. I could be wrong, but I've seen that, like, in Europe, like, people with tattoos and piercings can get jobs, like, way easier there. So why is America not hopped on the bandwagon? Another thing, too, is, like, all these places, they say that they're hiring, but I feel like they're not. Because I shop at all of these stores and I see hiring now signs, but those signs have been up for months, and I know plenty of people are looking for work. So how have they still not hired people? Sorry for the long ranting video, but I just feel like this is something that needs to be talked about. It's so annoying. And for anyone that is looking for a job right now that is younger and doesn't have experience, I truly wish you the best of luck, because it is very hard out here right now.
So this video got a lot of reactions from people. People staged her video, like I said, giving her the reason or the reasons why she is not getting hired. Now, talking about why people are not getting jobs because they've not had experience or experiences, that can be frustrating. Now, I remember when I was applying for jobs, they refused, they declined my application, and I felt so bad. Not one, not two, not three companies I applied, for job, they turned me down because I've got no experience. I felt so bad. I was just saying, can you all just give me a chance? Because the truth is, I would need someone to hire me for me to get the experience. So if I'm not getting, a job offer, how am I supposed to get the experience? So I just need a company to hire me. But then I understand that during the interview, you really need to uh, convince them, in as much as you've not got the experience, but you need to convince them to let them know that I am the best candidate for this job or something. But yeah, I have put together a few stitches. Let's just hear what people said to her. And of course, I'm gonna show you some screenshots of comments I grabbed from her comment section. Like, people went crazy in her comment section. Please check the stitches out.
I went in today and I was like, so what was the reason I didn't get hired?
It was 100% because of your tattoos. Now, I don't have a lot of tattoos like that creator does. I have this one and about 3 others, but I've learned very early on about job stoppers and that the types of tattoos you get and where you get them can affect your chances of finding a job or a career. Now, if you're in the creative space or you're in the arts, then you don't really have to worry about this nearly as much. But if you're going to be in corporate America or you're going to be in any kind of client or customer facing role, then this does apply to you. But there needs to be some kind of decorum in a professional or corporate sense. So if you do have tattoos, just make sure they aren't too intimidating, too offensive, and can be easily hidden. Take me, I work in leasing in the real estate field, and pretty much all of us have tattoos in that department. But most of us have them on our arms, legs, or anywhere else that we can easily cover it up with clothes. Only one of my colleagues actually has a hand tattoo, but it's so discreet that you wouldn't even notice unless you actually look. Now, I'm personally all for self expression. You have every right to do whatever modifications you want to do for your body, but understand that what you do can have consequences on your livelihood when it comes to jobs.
So I applied for a job at TJ Maxx a few weeks ago, and
For a little bit of insight, from an ASM at Marshall's, TJ Maxx, for the same company, and from somebody who is heavily tattooed, not as heavily tattooed as you, but still pretty heavily tattooed. A lot of it has to do with the choices of your tattoos and not so much the tattoos themselves. If I were the one sitting down and giving you your interview and I peeped the pentagram on your chest or the demon spider on your throat, I also would not want you representing my store and my company. Well, not really my company, but you know what I mean, who I work for. So yeah, just something to think about.
ago, and they denied my application. They couldn't even call me. They just sent me.
You know, white people. As somebody who has tattoos and loves them, I also have tattoos like on my hands, and I don't go out of my way to hide my tattoos when I'm in professional spaces. I have one behind my ear that you can see like pretty clearly, especially now that my hair is short. I think what this lady is failing to realize is that she quite literally has a pentagram on her chest. Like, ma'am, you have a devil worshipping symbol on your chest. It's not just the tattoo. Let's be so for real.
So I wanted to come on here and talk about something that is really starting to.
So I'm going to try to be super kind when I say this. It is 100% your tattoos. And they're going to tell you, oh, it's not the tattoos because they don't want to be sued. They don't want to seem like they're discriminatory, but it is 100% your tattoos. And, if you're doing any kind of customer facing role, anything like that, people are going to judge. They're going to judge you if you're short. They're going to judge you if they consider your clothes provocative, if you have tattoos, if you look a certain way, you're going to be judged. And these companies honestly don't want to take the risk. It is what it is. Personally, I would suggest, I'm not going to tell anybody to get rid of your tattoos, but I would look for positions that aren't customer facing. Because you're going to be hard pressed to find an employer that would like to hire you. It is what it is. That's just a reality. Is it the nicest thing? No, but also your entire face is covered with tattoos. People are going to judge.
And talk about something that is really starting to annoy me. So I applied.
You know what this reminds me of? Honestly, this lady's video. It brings me back to Beyonce thinking that she can fit in as a country singer. No, you can't. No, you can't. Okay? My son has tattoos and piercings all over his face, and he knows that he cannot walk into Winners and apply for a job because he won't get hired. He looks like he's going to rob the fucking place, okay? That's not the look that a place like that is trying to put out. Unfortunately, it is what it is. He knows he made the decision to do what he did with his body, and now he'll do the work that will hire him. He doesn't go on social media and bitch that he made a decision to do something with his body and it's affecting him years later. He already knew that when he did it.
In Europe, like, people with tattoos and piercings can get jobs like way
Even in Europe, they will not hire you. So I don't understand why we're actually so confused. It's one thing to have tattoos, and it's another thing to have tattoos. But it's a whole different thing to have tattoos with evil symbolic meaning. You have the devil and the devil's brother right here on your chest that you'll be using to greet people. Even if you want to put on shirt that cover it. What about all this stuff that's going on your face now? It doesn't look good for the company. But I looked in the comments, and some people said she might get a job at Spear, Halloween, Hot Topic, or Spencer's. Yeah, go crazy. But you gotta be for real. I don't know why we acting so confused. I'm like, why? Granted, I do think it's because of her tattoos, but yeah, there are jobs out here saying we're hiring, but ain't hiring the fuck out of nobody. But I don't think that's your problem. I think it's the tattoos.
I wanted to come on here and talk about something that is really starting to annoy me.
On Friday evening, I was forced to sit in the chambers of the House of Representatives and watch as almost every single elected official within those chambers voted against the very rights of the American people. I watched in complete awe last week as those individuals who are supposed to represent the American people voted not only to steal your money and send billions of dollars overseas, they voted to take away your right to the very app that we are using today. In addition to that, they voted to allow an invasion of privacy without a warrant that, quite frankly, is absolutely disgusting and should terrify every single American, despite what side of the aisle you may be on. I jumped on my plane and got back to South Florida as quickly as possible. And upon my return back here to South Florida, I saw this. I saw this video, and then I began to see the stitches and the absolute hate that was displayed to this beautiful human being in this video. And I lost hope. And as I began to read through the comments on this individual's video and see the stitches, I was absolutely repulsed at the amount of hate. But equally as important, I lost hope. I lost more hope than I lost sitting on the floor of the House of Representatives, seeing our very own elected officials vote against the rights of every single American. What I see in this video is a fellow American who's trying to get a job. That speaks volumes. I see a fellow American who has absolutely displayed not a single amount of hate towards any single individual on this platform. But I've also seen millions of other so-called patriots and so-called conservatives attack this beautiful young lady simply because of the way that she looks. So my message is simply this. If you didn't learn anything from the votes that took place last week, and if you don't know anything about what Congress is currently doing today and this week moving into the Senate, you probably should make yourself aware. Because tattoos isn't going to matter. Your personal opinion on someone's appearance isn't going to matter. Because right now, today, the Senate is voting to take away so many more of your rights. And I guess my hope and my vision is that Americans would actually unite, and they would unite against what our very own government is trying to do to us. And quite frankly, succeeding in doing so. And so to the young lady in this video, please understand that it doesn't matter how our religious beliefs may differ. It doesn't matter how our social beliefs may differ. What matters is that you are an American, and you are giving a sacrifice, and your husband is giving a sacrifice that, quite frankly, many will never do.
A job at TJ Maxx a few weeks ago, and they denied.
You have a demon spider on your neck. You applied to work at TJ Maxx. Look, I don't care. I don't give a shit. Do whatever you want. Look however you want. I would hire you. I'm sure you're a good person, hard worker. That's all great. But you know who does give a shit? Sharon. the 52-year-old general manager of the TJ Maxx at the Washington Square Outlet Mall in Albuquerque, New Mexico, or fucking whatever. Look, do whatever you want to do, but you had to know that this is how it works.
You know, a lot of places don't like tattoos.
Okay, to summarize that video, that 23-year-old woman applied for a job at TJ Maxx. They said she didn't get it due to lack of experience. She feels like she didn't get it because she was judged on her tattoos. Okay, I don't have any tattoos. My husband does. He has around 30 tattoos. He has an entire sleeve. Let me tell you where that sleeve stops. Right here. You want to know why he stopped his sleeve right here? So that if he were to go into any job interview, any professional setting, he can cover up his tattoos with a shirt. Now, you can agree or you can say that's awful that he feels like he'd be judged for tattoos. But when we make certain decisions, such as piercings, tattoos, altering our body, talking in any certain way, cussing, we have a freedom to do that. However, we are not free of certain consequences that come with our decisions. I'm not against tattoos, but realistically speaking, if you feel like if you know you're going to have to start applying on jobs, there are certain areas on your body that I would not recommend getting tattooed. I would say the best tattoo artists in this country would tell you to not tattoo your face and to not tattoo your neck, and honestly, not tattoo your hands. Tattoo everywhere, but don't tattoo the main places that people see, especially children. Certain tattoos could be terrifying to children. And not only is location important on tattoos, the meaning behind tattoos can be very important. If you zoom in on some of her tattoos, they are satanic, like they represent evil, okay? If that's how she feels, that's how she feels. However, I will tell you, 99% certainty, if I would have, as a Christian, tattooed on my face, Jesus is King, with Bible verses running down my cheeks, I would be judged for that, and I probably wouldn't be in the career I am today because people would not like that. I'm not saying it's right that people don't like that, but again, we have to understand that certain things we do as humans, there will be consequences. Even if we don't agree with those consequences, how you change your body, people will judge you for that, and you have to be aware of that. Okay, I hope she finds a great career that is more fitting for her. I'm not sure if TJ Maxx is fitting for her, but before you go do anything to your body, be aware that unfortunately people will judge you for that, and it could hinder you from any type of professional advancement you're wanting to make. And I'm sorry to that girl, but I'm going to assume it was the tattoos.
They denied my application. They couldn't even call me. They just sent me some automated.
Babe, you didn't get hired because of the placement of your tattoos. And I'm talking about your neck and your face. Let me talk to you about why. I myself have tattoos. I'm also a millennial. In my generation, when we were kids, we were raised that whenever you're going to go into job interviews, whether it's an entry-level job or a high-paying job, you want to go in dressed in business attire. I was always taught that if I'm gonna go into an interview to cover up all my tattoos and make sure that they're not visible. I totally understand that it's 2024 and jobs should be more accepting, but you also need to pay attention to who is shopping at these places. In 2018, I was working for this really amazing company. I would go dressed up in a suit all the time. And one time during the summer, I wore a nice blouse with a blazer, but I took off the blazer because it was hot and I was in the office. My general manager walks up to me and he was like, "Oh, you have tattoos?" And I'm like, "Yes." I didn't think much of the question because, people usually compliment my tattoos. And his response was, "Had I known you had tattoos, I would have never hired you." Now, it's 2018, tattoos are normal at this time, but I understood that he meant it because our clients were older people that believed that if you had tattoos, you were either a vet or a criminal. And they would look down on tattoos. You applied at TJ Maxx where it has a combination of people that like tattoos and people that don't like tattoos. Now, if you would have applied at places like Hot Topic, Spirit Halloween, Spencer's, you'd probably have a higher chance of getting hired because of the placement of your tattoos. Or they won't care of the placement of your tattoos. Now, this is to the younger generation who doesn't have tattoos. If you don't know what you want your career to be yet, hold off on getting any tattoos from the wrist bone down, your collarbone up. Avoid neck tattoos, avoid face tattoos. If you know that you want to go into being a barber, a tattoo artist, something that you know that you're going to be self-employed and do not need to be hired for whatever you're going to be doing, then by all means, do what you want. But again, my advice is wait until you know what career field you're going to be going into for you to get any neck or face tattoos, even hand tattoos. Because yes, it's 2024, But some people still care, and they won't tell you that that's not why they're hiring you. They can always lie, like they lied to her.
So I wanted to come on here and talk.
So I want to talk just to this creator for a second. I know that I just opened the comment section, and I know that there are people who have a lot of feelings about this and who are approaching it in a lot of different ways. I'm going to approach it. I want to talk directly to Ash. So Ash, I'm sorry that you're having a hard time finding work right now. I know that it is rough out there. And I also know that there are a lot of places who are hiring for hourly positions who are actively hiring for those positions. And it sounds like you know why you're not getting hired, but I don't know if you've had anyone who is maybe compassionate enough to be clear with you without being a dick about it. So I want to help and maybe be that person. If I come off like a dick, I promise you I'm really not trying to. I care, and I don't want you appear like you are genuinely confused, and so I want to give you a genuine, real answer. Of course, it's your tattoos, but it's not just that you have visible tattoos. I have lots of visible and invisible tattoos. I'm pierced as well. And mind you, I don't have tattoos up here. I don't have face tattoos. And that is, I think, thing number one here is face and neck tattoos are off-putting. A lot of companies actually have company policies about how they are about how people need to come into the workplace. For example, Disney would never hire anybody who has a face or a neck tattoo. But it's not just Disney. A lot of places, that is just something that they will not hire for. But we also know that it's probably not just the tattoos. There's also the piercings. Just from that video, you know, I don't have it pulled up right now, but like I remember that you had 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 up and down, and then you had 1 to 2 over here, and that was just what I could see in that video, plus, you know, anything that was happening with ears, which I wasn't able to really see. So that's, you know, that's a whole other thing that is in a lot of company policies. It can often be off-putting. The third thing is the content of these tattoos. You have a very large neck tattoo that's of what looks like a baby's head or a doll's head that's in the shape of a spider with like not antlers, but like horns coming out of it on a spider's web. It's aggressive. I think that we can maybe all agree together that that's aggressive. I'm not saying that you don't have a right to have it, because of course you do. You are a human in the world, but I also want to be realistic about that actions have consequences. You have face tattoos that come down to here and that, you know, surround your face. Those ones, actually, I think that's really pretty. However, that is not that is atypical. It's atypical for what people are putting out into the world. So that, plus they are all black and white, they are rather dark. Again, that is with the contrast to your very, very pale skin. And then the content of those, that plus, so first of all, that there are tattoos that are visible. Second of all, that those tattoos are you know, it's aggressive content and it's pretty aggressive line work. And then we also have the piercings to go along with it. People make assumptions, and should they? No. And of course, I am in full agreement with you that there are fantastic, smart, hardworking people who come into this world and come into places of work looking, you know, any number of ways, and they can show up and they can do great work, right? That there are people who are tattooed, who are pierced, you know, who have different colored hair, who have different hairstyles. You and I are in full agreement about that. And employers get to choose what the face of their organization is going to look like. And they, you know, if not the like senior leadership themselves in the handbook, you know, oftentimes they will allow store management to use their discretion to do so. Is it always fair? No, but they're probably trying to do right by their customer. And is it fair to you? No. And I'm sorry about that, but I also want you to kind of be eyes wide open about the fact that unfortunately actions do have consequences, and that while you are absolutely allowed to have a personal style. You are absolutely allowed to express yourself however you want, and nobody can nobody can tell you not to, right? However, oh my god, my dog. Nobody can tell you not to. But here's the thing is that it does mean that as a result of those personal style, personal expression choices, that people are going to make judgments about you, and that people are going to make business decisions with that information in mind. It's sucks. People make decisions. People make business decisions about how mature I am, and they look at my curly hair. And in the corporate world, they make assumptions about me as well. And I have been told by people to straighten my hair. I've been told to dress differently. I have been told to wear more makeup. I have been told to wear less makeup. We are all told to do lots of things, right? And we can choose to listen to those people, or we can choose not to. I've chosen not to most of the time. And you can choose to do what you want to do with this information, but I did want you to have it, and I wanted you to hear from somebody who was going to be clear with you about it and was going to be kind.
Wow. So from these stitches, you could tell that people emphasize on the kind of tattoo she has on her neck, her face, okay, which would probably scare some people. Now, she did a follow-up video, which I'm going to show you. According to her, she woke up and saw loads of comments, stitches, and she decided to respond to those stitches and comments. Please check the video out.
Wow, it's not even 7 a.m. I woke up and read the comments on my video, and I have a lot to say. You guys missed the point of that video entirely. I don't need that job at TJ Maxx. I make plenty of money. If I didn't make enough money, I would not be able to afford a Dodge Challenger that has a almost $500 monthly payment. I have thousands of dollars worth of artwork on my body. I have $7,000 breast implants, and I have about $3,000 of filler in my face. And it's crazy. It's like, you need to have money to do those things. I just wanted the job to make more money, because what's wrong with wanting to make more money? But, I posted that video because I knew I was gonna get exactly those kind of reactions. And there's people saying, oh, it's because of your satanic tattoos. So if it is about my satanic tattoos, that's religious discrimination, which it's illegal to discriminate against someone based off of their religious beliefs. And appearance has nothing to do with work skills. Other comments that I noticed is people said that I voted for Biden. I haven't voted before, and I would never vote for him. And people are like, oh, well, leave America. Once my husband is out of the military, that is our plan. But, since he has a military contract to serve out, we can't just leave quite yet. So funny, because it's always like older generations that say that younger people are the ones that get all triggered and stuff the most, when I think it's quite literally the opposite. And old people are in my comments saying that they're afraid of me. Good, I'm glad. I don't want to be around you. Old people are quite literally the reason why the United States is in quite literal chaos right now. All of these politicians literally look like they're about to take their last breath. But so, bottom line, everyone missed the whole point of that video. I don't need that job. I make enough money. So yeah, I am gonna go enjoy my day getting some Starbucks and shopping.
Right. I just want to know what you all think. Do you think it is all about, the tattoos on her body? Do you think that's why she's not getting the job? I took some screenshots of comment, like I said. Beside me are some of these comments. Please pause to read. Her comment section went crazy. Like loads of people in her comment literally, talked about the tattoo. Now, talking about the tattoo, in my own opinion, you are entitled to do whatever you want to do with your body. If you want to have a tattoo from your head to toe, baby, get on with it. That is your body. You have the right. But then you just have to read the company's policy if they are happy to employ, anyone that got tattoos, heavy ones on his or her body, if you get what I mean. Some companies may not, because you are literally representing the company. Okay. And someone like me, in my own opinion, if I see such tattoo, girl, I'm gonna be scared. Okay, I'm gonna be scared. This is me. This is my own opinion. However, I'm not saying you shouldn't have tattoos on your body. It is your body. You do whatever you want to do. Okay. But think, I think, like she said in her first video, when she approached the person that she submitted her CV to, and she said, no, it's not about your tattoo, or, but she herself thought the lady lied to her. It could be about, her tattoos, but then it is what it is. But let me know your take in the comments. Would you employ someone with such tattoos? Let's hear from you, or let me hear from you guys. And thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video, share, comment, and of course, come back for another video. I'm gonna see you all in my next one. Y'all take care. Much love. Bye.